Hey, 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 Taurus. This is Randa from Reason Tarot. I have a reason to be here, and so do you, including the cross watchers. We all have a reason to be here, and that is to ascertain what blessings do we have coming forth this fall season. So the fall equinox begins Tuesday, September 22nd. If you would like to participate in any type of ritual or ceremony, prayer, blessing, something like that, whatever floats your boat, you have to Google the time of the equinox. Some people like to do it 15 minutes for half an hour, 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after the equinox. But it's not necessary if you're seeing this on the 22nd or after, in which the equinox has happened. You can do whatever it is that you would like to honor this new season coming in. Everything in life goes in cycles, right? Including the seasons. So bringing in your blessings, tapping into the power of the seasons, bringing forth your blessings is a really great practice and idea. So I'm going to pull a 9-card spread for you, Taurus. You're near and dear to my heart. I have 2 sons who are Tauruses. I won't hold it against you. This 9-card spread, I call it the tic-tac-toe spread, is extremely thorough. Here at Reason Tarot, we tap into your spirit team. Your spirit team is your high vibrational ancestors, spirit guides, archangels, guardian angels, any saints or rishas, ascendant masters that God has put forth to help us on our journey. They work for God, and therefore they work with and for you. When you push your purpose forward, you push God's kingdom forward. Okay? Spirit team of Taurus, current and future watchers, speak truth to power, give them grace, mercy, insight into your infinite wisdom and knowledge. I will leave that there. A card fell on top of another card, so I'm going to leave it there. You actually got more than 9 cards. So, Taurus, you got 11 cards. Okay? And we will go with the flow. Okay, overall energy, 10 of air. So you're coming to the end of something. The worst is over, right? And so the fall is going to bring you something new. And that new is going to be up to you to really bring forth and take hold of. This fall, you all need to be planning, and you need to be planning big. You need to set your eyes on the prize that God has for you. Make sure when you set your sights on something, it's something that you're passionate about, not something that the world considers worthy or good. It needs to be connected to your passion, right? And when you plan what God's blessings in heart and mind, what God has for you. Not what your experience told you that you have access to, not what your neighborhood tells you have access to, not what your state, country tells you you have access to, but what God tells you you have access to. So if you think about the process of planting and blooming, whether it's a planter like this or whether it's a whole garden, it's a magnificent process and journey that God has created. And you are a part of that process and journey. And anything that you create and manifest is a part of that process and journey. So you need to be thinking really, really big. Right? All right, so let's look at the past. That's your current energy. So let's look at the past. In the past, Taurus, and there's a lot of earth energy in your past. And so there's a lot of practicality, practical things that you have done, work that you have put forth, using what resources that you have, trying to add on to whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, doing the work in the midst of deception. So I'm getting two things. For some of you, it could be self-deception, and so you're on a hamster wheel, right? You're working, you're spinning, but you're not moving forward because you're deceiving yourself, either about your goals, about the process of your goals, how to realistically get there. And others of you are doing the work and you have deception within your midst. Right? You have the Adelita of Earth, which is the Page of Coins. You have the Seven of Air, which is the Seven of Swords. And then you have the Eight of Earth, which is the Eight of Coins, right? So here is all this great work. Practical application of knowledge and resources. And you have deception, either self-deception or deception from around you in the midst. Many of you are being what your nature is, practical. You're being practical. And you got the Moon card and it was sideways, right? So it reads right side up, but there's something funky about it. So this is the Moon card, and it's understanding that there's processes happening behind the scenes, things that we don't know about, especially things in the spiritual realm, because it is a spiritual card. And so your ancestors, your spirit team, God knows about this, and it's a part of your development, right? And you're really not tapping into it all the way, Aries. You're not tapping into your spirit team. You're not honoring the messages that they send you. So you need to think about how your spirit team speaks to you, whether it's through dreams, visions, auditory, like hearing voices, itches, seeing, numbers, colors, a deep gut feeling, instinct. Because your spirit team has never left you. They've been with you since inception. And so they're giving you these messages in order to push you forth, to rush you forth, to get your blessings. So you got to make sure that you are listening, not half and half, not sometimes, but full throttle. And the reason that you're not listening is because you're the wounded warrior. You got the Nine of Fire, which is the Nine of Wands, which is the Wounded Warrior card. And this deck is more of a protection card. If you think about in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Nine of Wands, he has a bandage on his head. He's leaning on one wand, and then he has the other 8 wands behind him as, a fortress, right? So he's keeping himself protected. And so in this deck, you have the hearth of the home, right? This is a fireplace, so it's like a kitchen type of fireplace. And then they have all of these spices and herbs and flowers that's going to be used for spiritual protection, right? And so many of you are tired, right? You have your walls up for so long, and you're practicing protecting yourself, that you're also leaving out the blessings. Because when we put walls up, yes, we do keep out the bad stuff, but we also keep out the good stuff, including our spirit team messages, right? We have to be open to receive those. And so your spirit team needs to be a part of your plan, right? Going back to your center energy. Your spirit team needs to be a part of your plan. How do you know what God has for you if you're not tapping in? Because if you tap into your higher self, you're tapping into your spirit team, right? Because right now, in the current energy and in the spiritual realm, there is no time. Time is a man-made concept. And so time is fluent. So when we try and, pinpoint, times, it could be fluid, right? So you got the Tower card, right? So there is something that is here or something that is coming that is a spiritual no. It's a spiritual no, right? You may be planning outside of your blessings, right? And that's why I said to make sure when you're planning that your blessings, your passion is attached to it. I hope I told you that. Whatever you plan, make sure your passion is attached to it. Because if it's not, you're going to get a spiritual no. That spiritual no is bam, bam, bam. You're on the wrong path. Whether it's something like getting fired, getting reprimanded at work, having a big fight or breaking up with someone, having a family spat, a hurtful situation with a, BFF or good friend, whatever the case may be. Arrested. It's a spiritual no. It's like, you need to learn this lesson. There's a lesson in everything. So you need to learn this lesson. You need to understand that something in this is not a part of your path. So that's when you have to assess. Don't just look at whatever the Tower moment is and the energy that can be in the moment, but look for the lesson. When you look for the lesson, you're going to end up tapping into the blessing, right? And so doing this fall, Taurus, you're going to be transforming. This is the Death card. You're going to be transforming. Some Tauruses need to look out for a death in the family. I hate to say it, because we do have the Tower card, the Death card, and then the Devil card, right? And those rarely come out back to back, right? And we have to understand that death is a part of life, right? And it's really not death, it's transforming. It's transforming, right? We never truly lose people. Excuse me. So some people are going to be, some people need to look out for and be prepared for, an important person in our lives transition. And others of us need to understand that we need to transition from codependent relationships. Codependent relationships in love, codependent relationships in family, codependent relationships in platonic friendships, codependent dependent relationships with children, which is a part of family, but I want to be very specific with that. And codependent relationships, it skipped my mind, I'm missing one. Work, romance, right? And those are those codependent relationships where we form unions thinking that that union is going to help us, right? But we have to use our internal strength. And this strength card is about tapping into your kindness, tapping into the internal strength that God gave you. In order to help coax what we need and want out of this life, and therefore this fall. And the extra card that you got is the Emperor card. So your potential future, and I always say potential because there's so many energies that are at play. There's universal energies that are always changing, and everybody has free will. Everybody that we're attached to has free will, with all that free will spinning around. And depending on the work that we do, that can change the future projection. So you never come to Tarot looking for answers. You look for guidance, right? The answers are within you, Chauncey. Okay. You got the Emperor card, and that means to get really structured, right? Structure, organization, self-discipline. Taurus is going to be your friend this fall. But you got all spiritual cards in the potential future position. And out of 11 cards, and 11 is the number of union. So there's going to be some type of union this fall, whether it's a love union, whether it's a partnership in business. There is union to be had. So out of 11 cards, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me. You got 6 spiritual cards. God is with you. The universe is on your side. The universe wants you to win. So that's why you got to tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Ain't there a song out like that? Tap, 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 tap in. Whatever. Okay, Taurus. So let's see. Oracle. I'm getting Goddess. Okay, you got a card that's mixed in, 2 of coins, and it's in the reverse. Make sure you're balancing your, checking accounts. Make sure you have financial balance this fall. You don't want that to be a block that you could have prevented. Taurus, you got Medicine Woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. And the overall energy, abundantia. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving, right? And look at how the Medicine Woman is completely open, hands raised, receiving not only her healing, but the power to heal other people. Okay, so that's it for this fall, Taurus. Have a great one. Bye.